We are now 17 days away from the United Kingdom leaving the EU, and this is the single most important week of Boris Johnson's premiership, because by Saturday something quite treacherous could happen. He has until Saturday to get a deal across the line. If he fails, he has to send a letter to the EU requesting an extension, something which I discussed last night with Trups, linked to the stream below. This week, Boris Johnson has to find a way to finalise a deal, one that Michel Barnier himself has said requires more concessions from us, because that's how it works. Only one person has to bend over at the negotiating table, and we have to make those concessions, which include, along with many other things, the United Kingdom essentially giving up Northern Ireland, something which the United Kingdom will not do. The idea being touted by Boris is to create two separate borders. I'm not overly keen on it, but I'll accept a concession if the EU make one in return. We'll see how that progresses. On Saturday, Parliament will sit, which it usually does not on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with on Super Saturday, and whether or not they're going to force the Prime Minister to do it, or whether they will get somebody else, which I don't think they can do, to send the letter. Moving on from that, I want to talk about the Labour Party. Chris Williamson, a Derby North MP, and we've spoken about him on this channel before, has been in court, the High Court no less, attempting to get himself reinstated in the Labour Party, which he is was a very close friend and ally of Jeremy Corbyn, after he was suspended in a disagreement over anti-Semitism. The full context is, back in February, a video was leaked that showed him telling a meeting of Momentum, a rather annoying little group, that Labour's reaction to anti-Semitism allegations had led to the party being demonised, and claimed that he had celebrated the resignation of MP Joan Ryan, who quit Labour in protest over the handling of anti-Semitism complaints. Now, he was later readmitted into the party, which led to quite a lot of outcry and outrage from MPs, lords, ladies, and Jewish groups. He also had to attend a hearing of a National Executive Committee anti-Semitism panel. The founder of Momentum, John Landsman, had said that the time that Williamson had shown not one iota of contrition after saying the party had been too apologetic in the face of the criticism of how it dealt with anti-Semitism within its ranks. Almost 70 Labour MP and staff members wrote to express their anger at the readmission of Williams. Because of the outcry, he was suspended again after a second panel reviewed the decision to reinstate him and found it cannot safely stand. This followed fresh claims that he undermined the party's ability to campaign against anti-Semitism by publicly characterising the disciplinary processes against racism as politically motivated and not genuine. It should be interesting to note, and worth pointing out, that a number of the claims of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party that Williamson referenced can be debunked. The party has failed to tackle anti-Semitism. It really has. Shami Chakrabarti is an absolute disgrace. She was meant to be leading all of this, and she buried some of it. The party has not handled it, and so by appearance it looks like Chris Williamson has been made a scapegoat to make the party look like it's dealing with those who say there is no problem with anti-Semitism, or that the party doesn't do enough, or whatever really. Optics are one thing, but integrity is worth a lot more. And I would point out the party can't campaign against racism, all racism that Jeremy Corbyn claims to be against, if the one thing they're doing is legitimising it within their party by not dealing with it. The party also alleges that he publicly legitimised or endorsed misconduct of former members, which he kinda did. He was okay with people getting attacked. Justice Pepperell said that Labour's decision in July to suspend Williamson was unlawful because the party failed to follow the rules and questioned the party's evidence that claimed Keith Vaz was unfit to be involved in the judgment. This particular MP had sat on a 3-member panel that agreed to let Williamson back into the party and called for the decision to suspend him again shortly afterwards to be reviewed. However, the judge then found there was nothing in the new allegations, the timing of the letter of the 3rd of September with the decision to suspend, that entitles me to take the view upon the papers that the Labour Party is acting unfairly, either unfairly or other than in good faith. He also added that while the Labour Party is no longer able lawfully to pursue the original disciplinary case, that does not afford him immunity from any subsequent disciplinary actions. After this ruling, Williamson tweeted, "The battle is won, the war rages on. The High Court has today judged that the Labour Party acted unlawfully in resuspending me. I'm glad the resuspension has been quashed, however, I'm currently suspended." With a Labour Party spokesperson saying the court has upheld Williamson's suspension from the party and said his disciplinary case must run its course. Which I think we all know means they're just going to, for the sake of optics, just keep him suspended and deselect him at the next general election, which could happen before Christmas. Nice. Make him the scapegoat for your own failings. The Panorama documentary about the Labour Party's inability to tackle anti-Semitism was damning, and I'd highly recommend everyone go watch it so you can fully appreciate how feckless the Labour Party have become at tackling something as basic as anti-Semitism.